From way up high, London is breathtakingly spectacular. If you're like me, you absolutely love a high-rise view, and in this category, London excels, with an incredibly diverse number of observation platforms spread throughout the city. You can see the expansive skyline and the River Thames from skyscrapers like the Shard, the Walkie, Talkie, and the two at Bishopsgate. There are even views that change as you go, like the London Eye and the London cable cars, historic sites like St. Paul's Cathedral and the Royal Observatory specialize in heavenly vistas. And there are views from the most unexpected places, like the two former power stations along the Thames, the Battersea Power Station, now a residential and retail complex, and the museum, the Tate Modern, once home to the Bankside Power Station. And there's the Olympic Park Tower. Difficult to pronounce, hard to describe, but the view from the top is not to be missed. Not to be outdone, the rooftop category scores big with a trio of more down-to-earth venues. The Garden at 120 offers 15th floor close-up views of financial district skyscrapers. The rooftop terrace atop the 8-story shopping center, One New Change, provides a neighborly look at St. Paul's and its dome. And the rooftop bar at the Trafalgar St. James shares its unique view with Lord Nelson. Price-wise, there's great diversity too. At the very high end is the London Eye and the Shard. In the mid-range is St. Paul's and the Battersea Power Station. The London cable cars and the Olympic Park Tower are on the low end of the scale. But surprisingly, the free venues provide the best experiences. Those include the Walkie Talkie, the Tate Modern, the Lookout at 8 Bishopsgate, Horizon 22 at 22 Bishopsgate, the Garden at 120, the One New Change roof deck, and the Hilltop Royal Observatory. Throw in the Trafalgar St. James too, but chances are you'll pay for at least a drink or two there. So, you can get spectacular aerial views of London for free. My favorites change from time to time, but at the moment, the lookout on floor 50 of the new building, 8 Bishopsgate, has a lot to love. When I first went up, I spent a lot more time than planned. The space is big and it's sparse. There's nothing in it that indicates it's anything but an empty floor. That may change, but I hope not. I wasn't the only one who spent lots of time here. It wasn't overcrowded, and I didn't feel rushed. I love these shots of others just looking out at London from a distance. They seem to take their place in the skyline. But it does seem like there's a sci-fi script begging to be written here. The lookout at 8 Bishopsgate more than meets expectations. From 50 floors up, you'll peer down at the Walkie Talkie and across the river to the Shard. To the southwest is the Tower of London and Tower Bridge, and to the east is St. Paul's Cathedral. To get your free ticket, just reserve your spot online. Next door, and 8 floors higher, at 22 Bishopsgate, is Horizon 22. Snagging a free ticket to the now tallest free observation platform in London takes planning. You may need to book a month or two in advance. Since we're so close, let's hop down to the Sky Garden atop the 38-story 20 Fenchurch Street, better known, for obvious reasons, as the Walkie Talkie. Love or hate the building, and opinions are mixed. The massive multi-level observation deck here shines in all sorts of ways. Along with a huge outdoor balcony, the Sky Garden also has 2 restaurants and a bar. This cavernous space feels like an arena in the sky, offering truly epic views of the Thames and its prominent neighbor across the river, the Shard. Your free Sky Garden ticket has to be booked in advance. It allows you to see spectacular views of the Thames. the Tower of London, St. Paul's Cathedral, and London's financial district, called the City, home to the Gherkin, as well as the Walkie, Talkie, and the skyscrapers at Bishopsgate. Across the river, the Shard, a 72-story, pyramid-shaped, glass-covered skyscraper, proves again Londoners know how to name buildings. The Shard sits atop London Bridge Station, where you can catch a Thames Link or underground train. Home to office workers, hotel guests, diners, and residents, the Shard is capped with a dramatic indoor-outdoor observation deck. The main viewing platform on floor 69 and the open-air deck on floor 72 offer a one-of-a-kind experience. It does feel like you're standing on top of jagged glass. This impossible-to-miss skyscraper maximizes its angular views of the British capital. As you make your way up through increasingly narrow floors, you'll hear birds chirping and wind blowing. If you're a pretend architect like me, you have to, at least once, pay the sky-high price to visit this observation platform. Across Westminster Bridge, from the Houses of Parliament, sits the London Eye. With 3 million plus visitors a year, and more than 30 million since it opened in 2000, it's the UK's #1 paid attraction. A slow spin offers spectacular views of Big Ben, Westminster Abbey, and the Thames. But it's a pricey ride. You can book your tickets in advance or at a self-serve kiosk inside the building just across from the wheel. A spin around takes about 30 minutes in one of 32 air-conditioned capsules. If, like the Shard, the price is too steep, there are plenty of free options that offer fantastic views of London. And another of those is Level 10 at the Tate Modern. With the old Bankside Power Station chimney in the foreground, it offers an expansive view across the river at St. Paul's Cathedral, Millennium Bridge, and skyscrapers, including the Walkie, Talkie and the Shard. There's no museum entry fee, and there's no time limit. Just head up to Level 10 for an expansive view that does not disappoint. From all these observation platforms, you can see St. Paul's, but the view from the cathedral's dome is hard to beat. There's an entry fee for the cathedral that includes dome access. If you go all the way up to the top of the dome, it's 528 steps. For young or old, that can be a workout, but the payoff is worth it. But if the steps are too much, the view from the much shorter climb to the base of the dome may be the perfect compromise. From either level, you can see the skyscrapers of the financial district and back across the river to the Tate Modern. As you make your way around the dome, you'll walk in the footsteps of the St. Paul's Watch, a volunteer fire brigade of 300. Clergy, staff, architects, and local residents who protected the dome and the cathedral from the threat of bombs during the Blitz in World War II. As you look down, just across the street, you'll see the rooftop of the 6th-floor shopping center called One New Change. Its rooftop view is free. Just hop on a lift and head topside. Always double-check websites to make sure this or any other observation deck is open and operating normally when you want to visit. Now, back in London's financial district is the Garden at 120. This 15th-floor garden is the City of London's largest public rooftop space. It is free, open to the public, and doesn't require a reservation. Day or night, it offers 360-degree views of next-door skyscrapers and Greater London. It's atop the Fincourt building at 120 Finchurch Street, just down from the Walkie, Talkie. The garden at 120 is home to 85 Italian wisteria trees, more than 30 fruit trees, and a 200-foot flowing water feature. To keep the vibe going after rooftop closing time, the bar and restaurant, called 14 Hills, offers similar views just one floor below. And, speaking of bars, don't miss out on the rooftop bar at the hotel, the Trafalgar St. James, at Trafalgar Square. It'll probably cost a drink or two, but Especially at nighttime, it provides a one-of-a-kind view of rooftop London, Nelson's Column, and the Square. One of London's newest platforms is in one of its most iconic structures, the Battersea Power Station. Called Lift 109, it's an elevated platform that raises viewers 109 meters to the top of the station's northwest chimney, right next to the Thames. As the glass-enclosed lift pokes over the chimney, you're able to move about and see views from every angle. The way to go up is filled with interactive history displays and a bit of drama, from the countdown at the vault door to the wall-size images inside that show how power is generated. From that sensory overload, you'll take small lifts close to the top of the chimney. Then you'll climb stairs to a second larger glass lift that will be your viewing platform. It is a well-designed experience, but you won't have much time at the top, 10 minutes at most. The glass lift is a bit crowded, and you will feel rushed moving about to see all sides. A warning before descent gives you a chance for a last look around. Lift 109 is fun, creative, and not to be missed. I bought my last-minute ticket at the Lift 109 shop. Today, the Battersea Power Station is a massive retail and residential complex that, as you can see, makes full use of its iconic building. For an added thrill, arrive dockside by Uber boat. Staying in the unusual category, let's head to Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park in East London, home to the ArcelorMittal Orbit, a sculpture-like tower with high-rise views of next-door neighbor London Stadium, once Olympic Stadium. And in the distance, the skyscrapers of Canary Wharf. The Orbit, called Britain's largest piece of public art, also attracts thrill-seekers wishing to propel down from the observation deck, or to slide down the world's tallest and longest tunnel slide. I love the tower views, and finally, after all these years, being in Olympic Park, built for the 2012 London Games. And I, somehow, survived the tunnel experience that does cost extra. It's fast, it's steep, and not for the faint of heart. The Orbit Tower is set for refurbishment, so check its website to make sure it's open when you want to visit. The London Cable Cars, also known as the Dangleway, opened just before the Olympic Games. This scenic ride over the Thames from Greenwich Peninsula to the Royal Docks was originally designed as a car-free way to get people to the Millennium Dome, now called the O2 Arena or just the O2. Today, the cable cars are mostly used by tourists wanting a one-of-a-kind view of the river and Greater London. You can use contactless payment for tickets. It's a bit out of the way, but as aerial views go, it's a nice round trip to take if you have time. Just south of the cable cars is the Royal Observatory at Greenwich Park. The view from the top of the hill is more than worth the climb. And of course, it is free. You'll see all of Greenwich Park, the National Maritime Museum, and the skyline of Canary Wharf. Make sure you visit the observatory and straddle the Prime Meridian before you head down to explore fascinating Greenwich. So there you have it. As viewing platforms go, those are the biggies. It's a diverse list with a wide price range. Some of the sites are must-dos at least once, and those cost, sometimes a lot. But the rest, especially the free ones, are great places to return over and over again to get your view on. There are other places in London that offer unique viewing experiences, including the O2 Arena, which offers dome-top climbs for a price. If you take the Tower Bridge tour, you can see the river and a bit of skyline through the windows on the elevated walkways that span the two towers. And you can peer down at the roadway below through the glass floor. If you climb a narrow 345-foot stairway, you can see the view from the top of the monument to the Great Fire of London. The fluted Doric column near the northern end of London Bridge is close to the spot where the fire started in 1666. The Great Fire raged for 4 days, destroying more than 80% of the medieval city. And from Hampstead Heath, one of London's many wonderfully large parks, you can get an expansive skyline view from high atop Parliament Hill. London is beautiful and historic at every turn, but the view from the top is spectacular. I hope this guide helps as you plan your sky-high time in London. If you like this guide, subscribe to my channel, Newsocracy. There you'll find video guides to Cornwall, Brighton Beach, Ted Lasso, and my One Day in London guide, plus a lot more about the British capital. As always, thanks for watching. I'm Jim Albritton.